Welcome back to Right Now Trending TV News. At this time, before we get started, we kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell for more videos in the future. Now let's get started. According to Radar Online, it seems like the entire world is watching every step King Charles III takes these days. But did you know that the plans for his funeral are already well underway? Yes, you read that right. There's already a detailed minute-by-minute plan in place for the day Charles, 75, eventually passes away. And if you're curious, it's all under the code name Operation Menai Bridge, a nod to his longtime role as the Prince of Wales. But wait, isn't it a bit morbid to plan someone's funeral while they're still alive and kicking? Especially someone who's just a few years into their reign after waiting over 70 years to ascend the throne. It sure sounds that way, but that's how the royal family rolls. As we've seen in shows like The Crown, the planning for a monarch's funeral kicks off almost as soon as they take the throne. But for King Charles, there's a bit more urgency behind the scenes. Why, you ask? Well, it turns out that Charles has been battling cancer, and while the palace insists that he's on the mend, insiders are saying otherwise. One palace source even spilled the palace is given the impression that Charles is on the mend, but he's still very sick. Still, he's the king, and palace officials are practical enough to know death is a possibility. That's a pretty sobering statement, don't you think? Now let's rewind a bit. Charles finally became king at the ripe age of 73, the oldest person in British history to do so. But just 2 years later, as he was undergoing a procedure to treat benign prostate enlargement, the doctors discovered something far more serious: cancer. The diagnosis led him to pulling back from the public life while undergoing treatment. Imagine waiting your entire life for a job, only to face such a life-altering challenge almost immediately. Talk about timing. Fast forward to today, and yes, King Charles has made a return to his royal duties, but here's the catch. Those public appearances you see him making, they're shorter, more reserved, and often shrouded in a bit of mystery. An insider paints the picture clearly. He's often whisked in by helicopters and then whisked out. After an engagement, he needs a good rest. Sounds like the toll of his illness is a lot heavier than what's being shown to the public. And it's not just his health that's on his mind. Charles is a king with a vision, one that involves modernizing and slimming down the monarchy. He's reportedly looking at a future where fewer royals get that coveted spot on the Buckingham Palace balcony during events like Trooping the Color. And don't even get him started on the palace payroll. With scandals like Prince Andrew's and the dramatic exit of Harry and Meghan, Charles is more than eager to see fewer minor royals benefiting from the public purse. But how does Prince William feel about all these changes? It seems like the heir to the throne is fully on board. As Charles's health declines, William has been stepping up in a big way, taking on a larger role and getting involved in the decision-making process. It's almost as if Charles is grooming him for what's to come, making sure that when the time comes, William will be ready to step into his father's shoes seamlessly. So what does all this mean for the future of the monarchy? Will Charles' modernizing vision take root, or will tradition win out in the end? And more importantly, how will the public react when the time comes for Operation Menai Bridge to be put into action? One thing's for sure, when that day arrives, the royals will be ready for a ceremony worthy of a king, complete with all the pomp and circumstance that Charles himself would have wanted. But let's not get ahead of ourselves for now. King Charles is still with us, carrying the weight of both his illness and the crown. Yet the reality is that the wheels are already in motion for the day when he'll no longer be here. And if there's one thing the British monarchy knows how to do, it's prepare for the inevitable, no matter how unpleasant it may be. So as we watch King Charles III navigate his duties, we're also witnessing the slow, meticulous preparation for the end of an era. What are your thoughts on this? Does it seem too early to be planning, or is this just the pragmatic approach the royals are known for? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more updates on this ongoing saga, because I'm going to be bringing you some more. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.